Hey guys, what is going on? Blossom is back, and today I'm ending a series actually, and that is my top 10 series on car countries. So, not a huge series, but we've done the British cars, the Japanese cars, we just did the German cars, and now we are going into my top 10 American cars. This was probably the hardest top 10 list for me to make till date, and that is because I like a lot of American cars. So I have actually a top 10, but I also have, I think, 12 honorable mentions, because I just felt like all these cars that I have in here has to be in the video. Anyway, once again, the guidelines is basically this is just my personal opinion, and I can only use cars that are in top drive. So although my favorite car of all time is the 1970 Dodge Charger, since it's not in the game, it won't be in the list. So this is kind of like my top 10 American cars, but only using cars from in-game. Finally, I found a way to explain it correctly. Once again, guys, comment down below what you think my number 2 car will be, because everyone here knows that my number 1 favorite car is indeed the Dodge Demon, at least for this game. So, or at least for cars in this game. So, comment down below what you think my second favorite car will be. But with that said, let's get into the video. So starting off in 10th place is the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. This was a huge favorite of mine, and I'm so happy Hutch added it to the game. I was quite scared when it was first a prize car because I was afraid I wouldn't get it. But thank God I managed to get 6 out of 8 from the Pro Circuit races or events that happened recently. Genuinely love this car very much. I do have a couple models of this car back in my home. I don't have any in white though. I had it in the black with the Firebird on the hood, and that was gold, kind of like the OG colors for the Trans Am. Love this car, and it is in 10th place. Moving on to 9th is the Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the Grand Sport. I love the colorway. I love just the little subtle decals that are on the sides. I think it's a beautiful Corvette, and also it's a special edition of already a very popular and beautiful car, which is the Corvette. Personally, I do like the C7 a lot. It is one of my favorites. I love the C2s as well, C2s and the C3s. But yeah, C7s are really beautiful, and this is 9th on my list. Moving on, in 8th place is the Plymouth Roadrunner 383. Genuinely love this car very much. I was sad to see that it has standard tires, because I can guarantee you this was a drag car back in the day. It should have performance tires, probably, maybe even lower 0 to 60, but I'm not sure about that. It has good top speed, very bad handling, but that's fine. It's a muscle car. 0 to 60, I can't believe 6.1 seconds. I'm sure it has to be lower than that. But I do love this car very much. It is also in the same body style. I'm pretty sure it's called the F body as the Dodge Charger from the 70s. And you guys know that's my favorite car. So this car kind of reminds me of that. I do love this car very much by itself, however. Moving on, in 7th place is the bittersweet moment of my Top Drives career and in my channel. One of the very few cars that I really liked and I really tried to get, but failed. Usually when I really like a car, I won't fail. I will get it. Namely the Demon and the 918 were the other two that I've really wanted so far. Next one is the Audi Quattro. The Chevrolet Camaro ZL1LE, I love everything about this car. Probably my favorite thing about this car, and this is a true fact, is that it's not allowed in Europe because it looks too mean. Yeah, beautiful car. I love it so much. I love everything about it. It's such a track car, borderline muscle car in my opinion at this point. It's honestly just a track car. Really beautiful car, amazing stats on this as well. On to 6th place, and I think almost every car from now on is a Dodge. In 6th place, I have the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. I definitely love this car. I would say I do love it more than the Camaro 1LE. However, it is on the lower end of Hellcats for me. I do like the Challengers a little more. However, I am just a bigger fan of the Charger series in a whole. But yeah, I think this is 6th place, goes to the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. Very beautiful car, and I was so happy to get it, I think, a week and a half ago. Moving on, in 5th is the Dodge Challenger, the OG from the 1970s. I think this is a very beautiful car. I never liked it as much as the 70s Charger. I just felt that the 70s Charger was just more badass, and The Challenger was trying too hard to be kind of sporty. I just like the whole body style of the Charger, but I do love the Challenger still. Very beautiful car. And I wish Hutch gave it a better picture instead of just black and white. There's just so many better pictures of the Challenger. Moving on, in fourth place, I believe, is the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. This might even be third. I've lost count. So, probably fourth or third now. But the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. Very, very beautiful car. And I just remember this is fourth because I know what car is next. This is in fourth place. The Challenger SRT Hellcat. You know I have 5 of these in my garage. I would say this Hellcat and the wide body version is in the same position. So, yeah. Just imagine the Hellcat and the wide body, same position in my opinion. Obviously there's a new wide body Red Eye, but that's not in the game. But yeah, that thing, if it is in the game, probably would be maybe even legendary because it has 797 horsepower compared to the SRT Hellcat 707. Moving on to third place is the Dodge Viper ACR, the king of the Nürburgring for about, I actually don't know how long, but it was one of the fastest cars. It still is one of the fastest cars. I think it's only slower than the Aventador SVJ and the GT2 RS, I believe. But yeah, amazing, amazing car. I would love to drive this one day. If there was any way I would choose to die, it would be in a Viper because, as you guys know, this car is crazy. No traction control, no ABS, but that's how I like to drive cars. Yeah, love this car so much. 3.40 to 6092, and I'm very happy that the MRA was improved in update 8.0. Now moving on, the second car, I'm not sure if you guys has guessed it already, but if you guessed it correctly, congratulations. It is indeed the Plymouth Superbird. Not the strongest car in game, let's be true. Probably just very strong with top speed in the game, but in terms of real life, this car is truly an icon. As you guys know, there's so much history around the Plymouth Superbird. It was in NASCAR. When you take away the big wing as well as the nose in the front, you basically have a Dodge Charger. Like, I'm not even joking. Very close relative to this car, I would say, is a Dodge Daytona, and I wish that car was in the game. Obviously, it was used in Fast and the Furious. I think it was Fast 6 or Fast 5. No, it was Fast 6 that car was in. It was the maroon one. Very, very beautiful, this car. So much history about it. The first time I actually found out about this car I found out about the existence of this car was actually from Cars, like Cars the movie from Pixar. If you guys know the King, or aka Strip Weathers, number 43 for Dynaco, he was the Plymouth Superbird. And then after that movie, I followed what was the real life comparison of that car, which was Richard Petty. Number 43. So much history about this car that I just dove into. I love it. It reminds me of my childhood as well. Very, very beautiful car. And I mean, when you think about it, 1970, it has a top speed of 185. Honestly, this thing could break 200. It did break 200. I don't know why it's only 185 in this. Maybe because it's not the NASCAR version, but God, so much history. Anyway, guys, you guys know what the number one position is, but I want to go through my honorable mentions. I'll go through those really quickly. In the honorable mentions, we have the Camaro ZL1, which was my favorite Camaro, besides the Yenko, and this was my favorite Camaro before the ZL1 1LE. In the honorable mentions as well, it's a Chevrolet Tahoe Custom. I don't really feel for this car too much in real life, but I had to put it in the video because this was the reason I won my Dodge Demon. Because of this Tahoe Custom, and you know, it's a channel favorite, so it has to be in there. Also, the Chevrolet Grand Sport from 1996. I do love this Grand Sport very much. I'm a huge fan of the C4 as well. I think the C4 is cool. C4 is just the model name for the Corvettes, and the pop-up headlights are just damn cool. I love the shape of the car too, much nicer than the C5 in my opinion. It doesn't have those stupid lights. Moving on is the car from the Bandit. Smokey and the Bandit, the Pontiac Trans Am, followed by another TV icon, which is the Trans Am 20th anniversary from 1989. Also, this car was called KITT in Knight Rider, which is one of my favorite shows, especially I watched it a lot when I grew up. I know it's weird. I was born in 1999, but I'm watching shows that were out in 1982, so yeah, oh well. I think it was in 1982, or was it 1986 Knight Rider came out. Another honorable mention is the Ford Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca. Love this car very much. I think the first time I really enjoyed and fell in love with this car was what game was it? I think it was CSR, the first ever CSR. There was a tier 3 car. It was the Boss 302 Laguna Seca, and I customized it in black and red, and it was beautiful. If you guys want to see my old CSR account, if you guys know that, the old drag racing game, maybe if I can find it, I'll show it to you. I had a pretty stacked garage back then. I think I had a Berlinetta, which was my best car, or a Viper, I can't remember. Moving on in the honorable mentions is the Ford Mustang 289. This was my first ever uncommon car in the game, and also one of my few uncommon cars I choose to keep. Only reason I have it is because I love it. There's nothing special about it. I guess the handling is okay, medium clearance, but there's so many cars better than it in the game. I just kept it because I loved it. I have two, actually, two maxed out. Moving on is the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, like I said earlier in the video. C3 Corvettes, I love them very, very much. I love the styling and everything. I actually should have put in the Chevrolet Corvette ZR2 in this video too. I did not do that, but love this car. Moving on is the Cadillac El Mirage. This is something a lot of people probably didn't expect me to put in my video since I'm a huge fan of muscle cars, especially the old ones. This one was a concept car. It basically showcased Cadillac's new design language for 2015 and beyond, I think. But wow, I wish this car was a real thing. It's really, really beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of Cadillac, but I remember seeing this when it first released on Facebook, like back in 2013, maybe even 2012, I don't know. But I was like, wow, that's genuinely beautiful. I would get this over a Bentley Mulsanne, which is, yeah, you guys probably think I'm crazy now. Another car is the Cadillac CTS-V. I think this is a very mean looking car, very, very beautiful. Can't wait for this car to be a prize car. I'll try and get it. Followed by the GMC Sierra All-Terrain. Oh, this is a badass. Look at it. I like the Sierra by itself, and then like when you put off-road tires on it and just lift the suspension and just make it look so much cooler. Wow, love it. Finally, in the honorable mentions is the Ford F-150 Raptor. This car was actually gonna be number 10, but I think there was another car I liked a little more, so I had to kick it out. But if I did make a longer list, this car would be 11. Really love the Raptor. Beautiful car. Anyway, guys, the last car of the list is number 1 on my spot. That's it for honorable mentions. My number 1 and my most favorite car, American car, in top drives is obviously the Dodge SRT Damon. Very, very beautiful. I barely use it in game now because I don't really find a lot of, I would say, opportunities to use it since it has high RQ and all that. But wow, I love this car and the whole journey as well for me to achieve this. I remember very fondly. I went through the whole journey on my YouTube channel. That was back when I had 400 subscribers. And guys, I'm really close to 1,200, so would really appreciate if I could cross that milestone very soon. But yeah, I remember that journey. Really, really love this car. Really tried my hardest to get it, and I was very happy to get it. Yeah, anyway guys, that's it. That is my top 10 with a lot of honorable mentions. In fact, I had more than 10 cars in my honorable mentions, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with something new. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Blossom out.